Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today we're going over the best finished bourbons under $100 of 2025 so far. So we're gonna do 4 bottles today. Friday's video will be the 4 bottles over $100. So that'll be the next video after this one. Now we're back to regular videos after the chaos, which was the Kentucky Bourbon Fest videos. So let's go right into a giveaway since I gotta catch up on those. All right, so this is for the Portuguese whiskey video. And I did bring both bottles back to America, so I can do 2-ounce samples. And the winner is Robert Truckosaurus. Ruckosaurus? I don't know. Robert Rack Uses 3722. Email is in description. All right, so let's get into the nose on A. All right, so A on the nose, oak, peanut butter, slight banana, very sweet and oaky. Good nose, do like it. Okay, let's go to B on the nose. Oh, this is like candy, dark fruit candy. All right, so B on the nose. Besides the dark fruit candy, which is really strong in your face, jammy, which is kind of similar note, peanut butter, which is different, and fruity pebbles, which I got fruity pebbles on something before, but I don't remember. That's not something I don't think I would remember exactly where I got it from, but hopefully it's the same thing, because if I can start narrowing down notes to certain bottles, Madness, here I come. Okay, let's go C. Okay, so C on the nose, hazelnut, oaky, maple syrup sweetness, and some red hot, like that cinnamon candy note at the end. Another good nose. Again, these are my favorites of the year, so they should all be pretty good. Okay, this is probably my least favorite nose out of the 4. It was light, so it wasn't that strong to begin with. There's some youthfulness there, but a good amount of funkiness and like this artificial sweetness. So my least favorite nose out of the 4. Let's get into the palate. Ooh, going to A off of D, and it is so much sweeter on the nose. That nose is a punch in the face of just sweetness, like dark brown sugar sweetness, brown sugar sweetness, more of the banana. I said slight banana. Man, that nose is jumping out of the Glencairn now, because I'm always trying to be honest with you guys. So I took a sip, and I haven't had bourbon in a couple days, I think. So it like completely just hit me in the face, and I'm sure none of this, everything's between 100 to 113, so it's not too proofy. It's just a lot of flavor just hit me in the face. So second sip for sure on this one. That second sip, world came back together. My wife's over here, she was like, it's been 4 days since you haven't drank anything. I was like, wow, my body just apparently was like, what are you doing? You haven't fed me any fuel in 4 days. Gotta get back to neutral. Shh, to the audience. All right. Did I even say any notes? No, of course not. I'm babbling over here. Okay, so on the palate, oak, red fruit, cinnamon, maple syrup, delicious, delicious. Finish, vanilla, red fruit, marshmallow. Overall, very, very, very good. Extra very. Man, the nose is so sweet now. Second sip, good as well. Got a little cinnamon this time on the finish. Nothing else really popped out to being new though. Right, nothing new on A. Is good. Overall, very good. And these are all under 100, so that's definitely a buy all day. I spun it too much. I love the nose on B. Man, B is just a different beast. That is so good. Now you have to like the dark fruit profile for you to enjoy this one, but it is right up there for that type of profile for me. So or jammy, dark fruit, plum, raisins, figs. Like I actually wrote them out because very dark fruit forward, dark chocolate. On the finish, it kind of goes towards a more nuttier profile. So nutty, vanilla, oak, hazelnut, specifically on the very finish. So B on the second sip. I wrote sweet for the palate because basically the palate is sweeter, dark fruit profile. Then the finish goes much nuttier. So I wrote peanut butter this time. So another nutty type note on the finish. So it's like a tale of two halves. But they're both good. And you basically get two different bottles in one. That's how I look at it. That is very good. So A and B are very different. And that's the problem with like doing like a top finished bourbon type of list, because the finishes could be so different that they're going to be very different profiles. So it's really what you're feeling that day. So we'll see how I kind of score them at the end. But I am enjoying B much more than A today. But let's see how C goes. Well, that was super unique. And I wrote a note that I'm not 100% sure if it explains it properly, but I just wrote it. Maybe I'll try to figure out the next couple says, but I don't think I can remember this ever. So I was like hazelnut, butterscotch. And then there was this note that just punches you in the face. And it's like a burnt sweetness thing, almost malty. So I wrote toasted malt. And that was basically what kind of lingered to the finish a lot. And so it was so strong, that toasty malt note. None of these are single malts or anything like that, so I'm not 100% sure. Now they have malt to help with fermentation, but man, that was unique in a good way. It wasn't like unique like ugh. It was just something that threw me way off when I had it. So let's see how the second sip goes. So I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. So overall, hazelnut, butterscotch, toasted malt, dark fruit. The finish, dark fruit, vanilla, sweet. It's good. Oh, for sure. Yeah, one more sip. This is just like messing with my brain. All right, so the only thing I wrote new was nutty and almond on the finish. I wish I could figure out exactly what that note that I can't figure out is. But anyways, it's good. Maybe I'll figure it out when I go back and forth. Let's just go to D, and hopefully D doesn't break my brain. A little bit more banana on the nose now. Okay, D continues to let me down a little bit more compared versus the other three. So it's nutty, youthful, and sweet. And it's basically the same notes on the finish, so it's not overly complex. There's a good amount of youthfulness in there. Okay sweetness, like kind of like artificially sweetness. A little nutty to balance it a little bit. It's not bad. It's just these three are, to me, very unique. All four of these are very unique from each other, but these three, A through C, are just uniquely better than D. D just seems in a tier below. This is kind of remind me of the Penelope Havana, which I know is not in here. There's only one in here that's maple finished, like the Havana. So I'm guessing it's the 13th colony. I guess that would make sense based off of the notes. Because I didn't say why I thought it was the Havana. So on the Havana, I get a lot of bready notes with like honey glaze on it. And I got similar of those bready notes, but with like a maple syrupy glaze on it. And again, the finish and the palate are very similar. There's not overly complex. It's good. It's just the bready youthfulness notes aren't my favorite. Doesn't have the longest finish either. Like the first two sips were fine. This third sip though, it just like disappeared right off the get-go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'll pause it here, go back and forth, come back with any new notes, hopefully try to figure out what the heck is going on and see, and come back with some scores and do the giveaway. So I'll be right back. All right, we're back and we got some scores, and the scores were all over the place. I mean, there wasn't really that close of a competition. So let's do the giveaway. We'll do 2 ounce samples. So this is the pick I was on So I have backup bottles of this, and I just there is a pile of boxes over here that right after I do this video, I'm literally going to print off a bunch of labels to ship out. And I think there's like 10 of these being shipped out. So 4 of them were from the giveaway that we did when I did the single barrel comparison. And then a lot of you guys reached out and said, hey, can you still find these by you? Pretty sure I bought every single one in the state of Connecticut today. But I don't have a backup of this, but I know I'm sure I can get more. So I'm not too worried about it. Apparently Connecticut got a bunch of these. So we'll definitely do 2-ounce samples of all this stuff. So if you want to enter to win 2-ounce samples of all this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with... So I spent a little bit of time trying to figure out what to write. So we're going to go with capital letters UF. I was going to do FU, but I really feel like if we do anything stupid like that, YouTube is going to destroy all the comment section again. So U100F. U100F. So it should be 5 letters. Capital letters, put in the front of your comments so I see it right away. So if you're new here, all the rules of the giveaways are in the description. Also in the description, because we just hit 1,000, I've been waiting to hit that milestone before I started a Patreon. So if you've been watching this YouTube channel and you're like, you know what, this guy spends a lot of money on giveaways and samples, and you wanted to help this guy right here, well, Patreon is now open to support. So I did $3 and $5 tiers. So if you want to support the channel, mainly shipping costs and sample costs, I would love the support, appreciation, and people are asking me for barrel picks and perks and all kind of stuff. So we'll figure that out as we go along. But Patreon is now available for this channel. It is in the description. So I already got a few guys in there already. So appreciate all the support if you sign up or not. Okay, so let's get into these 4 bottles. So in last place, I didn't write any new notes. I really was just trying to see if which ones were better. In last place, no surprise based off the first round, the 13th Colony maple syrup bottle scored a 3.15. It was just too youthful. Obviously, for it to get into this little this top 4 blind, it had to do well earlier in the year. So I don't know if it was going against other stuff that just destroyed, but didn't hold a candle versus these 3 over here. So then we go into 3rd place, and that's the Jack Daniel's Toasted. This is very good. I really, really enjoy this. This one is the barrel that I've been using for like all my videos. 04058. I'm not sure which barrel I will get next, as long as it's not the one barrel I did not like so much. But I scored that 3.15. Again, very good. Supposed to be shelf stable, so it should be in your areas. Don't spend more than MSRP on it, which should be around $70 to $80. $75 here. So I heard it's 70, but I've been seeing it here for $75. Okay, so then it came down to these 2. And it was, again, a lot of this today was on how I'm feeling today. And so first place, this Angel's Envy, man. I love this bottle. And I know I sent out this bottle to a bunch of you guys out already. I can still pick these up. This is a pick I was on earlier this year. 2 to Tango, 5 to Finish, fruits, nuts, and dessert. It's a pick by a local store, Conti's, which I was there with them on that pick. I love this bottle. So I scored a 4.25. And second place was a Pursuit United, which is a seal box pick. That note, this is just so unique. It's so good. I do really enjoy this. I scored at 3.75. So obviously, I really like the Angel's Envy today. Just way more of my profile, especially today. Let me know if you want one of these bottles. I can still get some more of these bottles. Shoot, how much were they? I think it's around like $90-ish. So You know, it's a little bit pricey, but it is under $100, and it did win my best finished bourbons under $100 for the year so far. So I'm sure it'll end up in the end of the year one of the top lists again. Some other picks that I've did with Conti earlier this year are starting to trickle out over here. The Elijah Craig pick I did, which was a 94 proof one, just came, and I'm gonna put that in my Whiskey Cigar Club this week. And I think the Starlight Maple Bourbon also is coming, so I should be picking up that soon. And the Four Roses should be coming up soon. So we'll see how all those do. If, you know, this is, this would be crazy if this is my favorite bottle of all the picks we did over there. But anyways, don't do no stupid. And if you do, don't get caught.